Hello, my name is Father Carlos Martinez, and I'm a priest minister at St. Martha Catholic Church in Murrieta. Reflecting on the gospel today, I recognize something very familiar with what's going on in the story with a man who gave a great dinner and invited many guests who did not show up because they were busy or had many excuses. What made it so familiar is that I actually ended up doing something similar when I felt the Lord calling me to be a priest. I felt the invitation of the Lord, I felt His nudging in my heart, but I too resisted and had excuses. Lord, not me, I'm not holy enough or smart enough to be a priest. Lord, I'll follow you and become a priest as soon as I graduate from college and maybe make some money. Basically, I kept saying, Lord, I'll answer your call when I'm ready. These might be the responses we give to the Lord too when we hear His call today. The Lord is constantly calling us to follow Him, to imitate Him and bear witness to His gospel as Christians in our world today. All of us, as followers of Christ, no matter what, are to follow the Lord in our lives. But some are called in a unique way to serve Him and the Church as priests or religious brothers and sisters. A call to the religious life as a priest or a nun can be scary at first, since we may be tempted to resist and come up with excuses, as we heard in the gospel today. We may begin to focus on ourselves and our shortcomings and forget that the Lord calls us to serve Him, not because of what we can do, but because we are open for Him to form us after His own heart. We must remember that it is not of our own merits or qualifications that He calls us, but He calls us out of charity and because He wants us to be His instruments of service for His beloved people. Never forget that the Lord does not call the qualified, but He qualifies those who are called. Like the invited guests in the gospel today, we too may have excuses to not answer the Lord's call to the priesthood or religious life. But may we never hesitate to respond to that invitation with a genuine heart of charity. For us, charity is one of the greatest virtues, which calls us to love God above all things, as well as our brothers and sisters as we love ourselves. Charity unites us to God because it allows us to see others as God sees all of His beloved children. When the Lord calls us to a life as a priest or religious brother or sister, let us have the courage to respond in charity. We respond with charity because the vocation He calls us to is one where we precisely get to exercise charity, loving God and His people through our service and the preaching and teaching of the gospel. Brothers and sisters, if you feel a call to the priesthood or religious life, be bold and courageous in answering God's call today with the heart of charity, eager to make His presence known in a world hungering for hope and love. May God bless you always.